So the statistics don't lie. My flight review videos are 10 or 20 times as popular as videos of me sitting here in my office prattling on. But I'm not deterred. So this is the finale to my country series where I will talk about my not been, not keen list. So stick around.
Hi, I'm Matt. Over the last 25 years, I've travelled a lot. I've lived in 5 countries on 4 continents. I've flown over 1.3 million miles. I've visited over 100 countries, every American state, but I'm nowhere near done. So subscribe to the channel so you can come with me.
If this is the first video in the series that you've watched, here's a little bit of context. I made a video where I talked about the number of countries in the world, and I came to a total of 236, of which I've been to 113. I then made 4 further videos with 6 countries in each. Where have I been that I am most keen to return to? Where have I been that I'm least keen? Where haven't I been that I'm keen to go to? And this video, the finale, where haven't I been that will probably be the last places that I visit. So the title of the video might be just a little bit misleading, but hey, it is YouTube after all. I really want to go to all 6 of these countries. Indeed, I want to go to every country, but these are the 6 that may well be the last that I visit. And there's various reasons for that. It could be war, it could be logistics, it could be cost, or some combination of those things. So number 1 on this list, or perhaps better, number 231, is Paraguay. Paraguay is a bit of a forgotten animal when it comes to South American countries. Brazil, Argentina, Peru, Chile, even Bolivia are all firmly on the tourist trail, but Paraguay, slap bang in the middle of them, is a little bit forgotten. If a country isn't on the tourist list, there's probably a good reason why not. The capital, Asuncion, is variously described as sleepy and colourful, which could be estate agent speak for clapped out and dull. Unspoiled by tourists is another phrase you commonly see. I've seen Paraguay featured in a few travel books from the region, and the writers, in general, couldn't wait to get out. Paraguay is one of the 3 countries that meet at Iguazu Falls, although Brazil and Argentina actually border the falls, and nothing can actually be seen from Paraguay. You're probably most likely to visit the country when visiting Iguazu Falls, as Ciudad del Este is the town bordering Brazil and Argentina. The capital isn't really on the way to anywhere, so you'd only visit it by making a dedicated flight. So having researched Paraguay for this video, I now really want to go, but I'll hold true to my script and leave Paraguay at position 231. A little further north for number 232, El Salvador. Again, a place I'm quite keen to visit, but I probably won't anytime soon. I went on a 3-week tour with Explore Worldwide through Central America, starting in Panama, through Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras and Guatemala, just missing El Salvador. I've been to Belize on a cruise, and I've been to Mexico a couple of times when I lived in the United States. So El Salvador is the only country in the region that I haven't visited. As there are so many parts of the world I want to visit, I can't see myself making a special trip back to that region just to cross off El Salvador anytime soon. There's been a lot of conflict in the region, and the capital, San Salvador, doesn't have a great reputation for safety. Having said that, I've seen some recent travelogues from the country raving about the place, and the wording in the travel advice websites isn't that different for El Salvador than it is for its neighbours. As always, act appropriately and be aware of your surroundings. There's a spectacular and underdeveloped Pacific coast, quite a few Mayan ruins, so it is a very interesting place to visit. I just don't think I will anytime soon. So that's number 232, El Salvador. This is a good time to invite you to like this video, subscribe if you're new. Quite a lot of my viewers aren't subscribed, so you're missing out on all the other great content on my channel if you don't click that little button. And also leave me a comment, I'd love to hear from you. 233 is San Marino. San Marino is a mountainous microstate just inland from Rimini in northeastern Italy, which has somehow managed to maintain its independence since it was founded in 1320. Being stuck up the top of a hill probably helped. It's 24 square miles in size with a 33,000 person population, which makes it the 5th smallest country in the world by both area and population. And there's not much else to say. There is a San Marino Grand Prix, but unlike Monaco's, it actually is held 50 miles away in Italy at Imola. There's not a great deal to see or do there, and as it's on top of a hill, it's not really on the way to anywhere, so requires a dedicated trip. It's only reachable through Italy, which, if you've seen my Been Not Keen video, you'll know isn't my favourite place. So even though it's closer, easier and cheaper to visit than many of the places I want to see, I just can't see it happening. So 233 San Marino, 234 the Central African Republic. When it comes to Africa, there are a handful of candidates for inclusion on this list, but the Central African Republic is the one I've picked. It's quite hard to get to, it requires a visa to enter, it ranks very low on the international development lists, and there's very little there to interest the tourist. Not to mention having probably the dullest and least imaginative name of any country in the world. I couldn't even find any stock images of the country to include to brighten this section of the video, so although I'm sure it would be fascinating to go there, I just don't think I will. And having gone through the list of 53 African countries I am yet to visit, the Central African Republic and South Sudan were the only two that didn't immediately bring some image or some trivia or some factoids to mind that would make them an interesting place to go see. But then even South Sudan wins that contest, as its distinguishing feature is being the youngest country in the world, having only been independent since 2011. So it's a tricky one and I feel a bit bad about it, but 234 on my list is the Central African Republic. 235 is Yemen. Yemen is a fascinating country, but getting there anytime soon is likely to be close to impossible. Yemen has been in a state of civil war since 2014 and has closed down all tourism. Not that you really should visit or should want to visit a country that is in the middle of a war. I know a few people who visited before the civil war, and it was an interesting but fairly difficult place to travel through even before the conflict destroyed most of the tourist infrastructure. Plus you need a visa, which is very, very unlikely to be issued in the current circumstances. So although I'd love to go and it would be fascinating to do so, Yemen is not an option anytime soon. So number 235 on my list is Yemen. Finally, in position 236, it's Turkmenistan. Great flag. Once again, I'd love to visit, I just don't think I'll be able to. It's a former Soviet republic that has had some dodgy and downright bonkers leaders since its independence. Bonkers might not be the right word, downright irresponsible might be better. The first president, whose name I'm not even going to attempt, closed down all hospitals outside of the capital because he thought providing healthcare was too expensive. He renamed the days of the week and the months of the year after himself and his family, and he banned beards, dogs, lip syncing and makeup. His successor, whose name I will also swerve, unwound some of those restrictions, although it is still illegal to have a long beard if you're under 70 years of age. He has introduced some weird rules of his own though, such as banning black and dirty cars in the capital city and banning all satellite dishes. So far an eminently suitable place to visit if you ask me. The trouble is that it's an astonishingly oil-rich country having the fourth greatest oil reserves in the world, so it doesn't need tourists. Only 10,000 tourist visas are issued each year, which puts it in the 10 least visited countries in the world. Getting a visa is quite hard work, as you need to be sponsored in by a local travel agent, which means you're tied to local tour operators, which isn't cheap. It's not really on the way anywhere, and it's very poorly serviced by European airlines. So although I'd love to go, I just don't think I will. So that's the 6 countries on my not keen list, although to be honest I'm pretty keen on going to all 6. Leave me a like if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe if you're new, lots of stuff like this on the channel. Leave me a comment, I'd love to hear from you, and also check out the affiliate links I have in the description. All of the equipment I use in making these videos is shown there, and it would help me out if you gave them a click and took a look. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time. Goodbye.